Hi, I want to take you through my journey of reselling, of thrifting, of flipping, of all of the craziness of reselling. Because normally, we tell you all the good, how we're doing. Well, I want to go back. I want to go in to the nitty gritty and tell you all the different things that are going on. If you don't know me, my name is Marion, and I am the smiley thrifter to most of you. I was a Tire and Beyond because I had a retail store, and we'll talk about all that later. Right now, I do like to get right to the point. So I've been reselling for 5 years, since 2020. It is now 2025 of July, and I'm just going to take you through it. So I am going to be answering your questions that you've sent me because I haven't been on in a little while, and that's how I'll be going through this. But I'll just put them into words. I won't ask the question or anything like that. So let's just get started. When I started because I loved thrifting, and that was my thing. So I wanted to do what I loved. And in the beginning, I just took out some of my clothes to sell. But then, when I started watching some YouTube videos, I realized I can make a business out of this. And so I did. I work from home because I do have some chronic issues. So I work from home. So I can work from the couch. I can work from anywhere I want to. So it works for me. So I am mostly on Poshmark, and I have been on Poshmark for the past 5 years. I've tried other mediums, other platforms, and I didn't really love them, though I may get back into them again. So if you have a platform that you love, tell me about it. I used to be on Citizen. I used to be on, I can't even remember the name. This is terrible, Mercari. I was on eBay for a short while. I don't even know what else I was on, but I sent into the Real, and I also used to send into ThredUp. And I do buy things mostly from the thrift store, but once in a while I will shop online. But I really like the thrill of the hunt. If you don't like the thrill of the hunt, shopping online's better. So if you're someone who's just thinking about being a reseller, this is for you. If you're a seasoned reseller, then you could just listen and put in the comments anything that you'd like to add. Anybody, put in the comments anything you want. So I did that in the beginning, and the mistakes I made started then because I was buying anything. I was buying name brands that I thought were great, but I thought they were great because I knew the name brands. So that was it. Like, I was like, ooh, this is a good brand. I remember it being expensive 30 years ago, Now, yes, some of those brands are good for vintage. Some of them are good for antique. Well, not antique is 100 years, by the way. Vintage is anything over 20, just in case. I want to stick some information in here. So then I bought all these clothes. And for those of you who've been watching me over the years, I went into a consignment shop on Dollar Day and spent $120 something. I still have some of that stuff. That was 5 years ago. So my fault or my mistake was just buying clothes because they looked good or because you knew the name. I knew the name brand. When you go thrifting, do your best to do it with a goal in mind, and then you will spend less. Because in the beginning, I had no set goals. I didn't have a budget, nothing. I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy stuff. So I did, and ended up having to open a retail store, not having to. But long story, you'll hear it. I ended up having a thrift store myself, so I bought more stuff. And the thrift store took a different type of buying skills. Really, things that'll sell online hardly sell in the thrift store, because since I was third party, I was buying it from someone that, oh no, I was second party? Yeah. I was buying it from someone that already bought it from a thrift store, or someone was giving me their clothing. And my problem, my mistake was I kept it all, every bit of it. So now, 5 years later, well, 4, because I had the store while 3, I am now re-decluttering my items. I've already decluttered many times, but when I came over from the thrift store, my own, I had all these bins, and I wasn't feeling good enough to go through all those bins, so I just kept selling online and just kept listing things and selling until I learned what I should be buying. But I still have all these bins because they were from a store. So I have been slowly weeding them out. So my suggestion would be declutter often, or do your best not to get cluttered. As a reseller, you may have a death pile. Everybody doesn't. I call it a money pile, but I'll say death pile so that you understand it, and now you know it's a money pile. I have such a money pile still, but a lot of the things won't sell online no matter how cheap I make them. So just know the market, know the trends, look through magazines, fashion magazines. Once in a while, watch one of the fashion shows, even if you think it's ridiculous. These are the things that they're putting into the outfits. And when I say that, I mean, when you see somebody on the runway with long fringe, you can bet your butt, you can bet your bottom dollar that you are going to see things in the store with long fringe. If you see micro minis, you're going to see those out in the public. If you see a lot of plaid, even if it's all dressed up, plaid will be out there. So you definitely get the hints and the clues when you look through these magazines and when you watch videos and fashion shows, because you do have to know what you are buying. You have to know if it will sell. And a lot of the YouTubers say they like theirs to sell in between 60 and 90 days. What? Not 5 years? I'm just kidding. I like if my stuff sells quickly, but it rarely does, except if I buy new things because I know it's in trend. But it rarely does because it's stuff that's not in trend, and I just leave it on there. But not anymore. I am donating it. I'm donating it to a school that's going to have their own thrift store. I always donate it to local churches, and sometimes I donate it to the Salvation Army. No more to Goodwill, because I've watched them throw things away. Now I know every single place throws things away, but I don't want to see it. So that's what I've been doing, and I kid you not. So far, I'm going to say it's been over 60 bags, and I'm not kidding. Full black contractor bags. 60. It's clothes and it's also items, but I'm going to say out of those 60, 50 was clothing. I will continue doing this until I declutter the way I should and the way my home should be. For myself, for my husband. So, yes. So it took me this long to get there. Don't let it take you that long, because I'm telling you. Also, I have learned how to keep my shipping supplies in good places so that some of them are hidden, some of them are you can see, but it's neat, and it did not used to be, because it's hard to have bubble wrap and packing materials and keep them neat. So I'd say from the beginning, do your best to keep that part neat or it will get out of hand. Shipping supplies. In the beginning, before I knew, I was buying boxes or using my leftovers, but I had to buy some things. And when Poshmark first started, not when they first started, when I first started on there, they advised, and they still do, that you send the person a card, and once you're doing it for a while, you'll know. Most people don't care if they get that card or not. They don't want an extra little gift. And I'm saying this from experience. I've actually gotten a bad review because I gave a gift. She said she didn't need anything more in her house and she doesn't know why I'm giving her something she didn't order. Many other return clients said, don't waste your money on these cards. We don't care. We know you. So I'm going to say, do what you love to do. And if you love making that gift like it came from a department store, then gift the item that you're selling, then you do that. But I believe, and I could be wrong, when you start selling more and more, you really won't find the time for that, especially if you're doing auctions and things live. Right now I'm talking about selling things online on Poshmark, but it applies to all of it. So I've tried a couple of lives, and I'll get to that in a minute. First, I want to get to shipping supplies. That's why I'm looking over there. Just know that you can get your priority mail boxes, priority mail envelopes, and all those different things online for free. You can order them and they'll come to your door. So you want to make sure that you order them from USPS. And those are the greatest things to ship with. In the beginning, I was shipping everything that was breakable, and this is going to sound crazy to you maybe, but that was breakable in boxes, right? With all kinds of, I was going to say saran wrap, all kinds of wrap around them, and they would break every now and then. Also, you do learn how to pack, because if you don't, you're going to be given a lot of refunds if you're selling any kind of home goods. Let's just talk a little bit about live sales. I've tried a few on Poshmark, and I've tried a few on Whatnot. I want to get into different platforms, but right now those are the two that I've tried. And I sold more on Poshmark than I sold on Whatnot, but I do believe that I'd be selling a lot more on Whatnot if I did it more. So, live selling, yes or no? I'm going to say yes, because it's the thing of the future, and I'll be doing it soon again. I used to do it on Facebook too. I loved that because I had locals that came to me. So that's the gist of all of that. You got the money pile. You got all these different things. Think about different places that you can send them, because then you don't have to take all the pictures and you don't have to do all of the listing. You send them off and you get a percentage. I have done that with, let's see, I have done that with the ThredUp, the Real. There was something else that I did it with a while ago. I don't remember. But I've also ordered from the same places, and I've ordered from Facebook Marketplace. I've ordered from And when I say that, I mean I bought to sell, all different markets. So I've tried a lot of things and I made a lot of mistakes. And that's why I am making this video, so that you can learn from my mistakes and you don't make them. So inventory, we were talking about all the bins. In the beginning, I had A through Z, right? Because I knew I was going to get to Z. And even though it was the right thing to do, yeah, I don't know. It didn't work for me. Because, yeah, so I was adding them to the platform and then that was it. But now, also, you have the consignment shops. You have consignment shops where you can get things very cheap on a day a month or a day a week. You must ask them, when's the best time to come in? I have one that has dollar items, like I said. And now I only spend, I forget if it's $13 or $18 to $27. That's it. And you know what? Some of those things don't sell. So I've cut down on that. But I do look for things for myself. And I've consigned in the past, and I'm going to consign again. You just have to know what sells. That's all. Same thing. Know what's in trend. And they will take most of the things that you bring them. If you're just bringing them anything, they won't. So call them, ask them what's in trend. Do they have a list? Go on their website and just see how much you have to do. And it's really not a lot. But, you know, the clothes have to be clean, and I'm not going to say ironed because I don't iron, but steamed or ironed. I did say iron. So the other thing is, don't do your very, 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 very best not to let your bins or boxes or whatever system you have, don't let it bleed into other rooms. Don't do it unless you have the room. If you have the room, it's different. But if you don't do it, because it's got to be annoying as all heck for the person that you live with, or your family, or your friend, or your brother, or your sister, your mother, father, husband, wife. It's got to be very difficult for them, because at one point, I'm telling you, we were walking through a maze. I know it was because I had the store, but it doesn't matter. It was like a maze. And I have done so much this year because I can, like I couldn't before. Because I can. I'm looking around because I still have stuff in my living room, but only in one spot. It was everywhere. So I'm very happy and proud of myself for that. Prices. Make sure when you're checking prices, and if you don't know how to do that, and these are comps, so you're comparing prices. You want to take something. I'm going to take these that I got for my husband yesterday, but let's just, sorry about my underarms, but let's just see. So I'd be looking up RBX, medium, performance, and then I describe them if there was anything in the label, but I would look them up. On eBay seems to be the quickest on eBay to see the solds and what they sold for. And then I'd make my price comparable, whether you're on eBay or not. But also, if you're on Poshmark, see what's sold. If you're on Mercari, hey, can you comment down below how many of you get sales on Mercari? I know I asked this, but I get none. Well, not none, maybe one a year. And I do the work and everything on Poshmark, I get sales. But I'd like to be on another platform again. But I've made mistakes. That's what I was starting to say. My mistake was not checking those things, the items and how much they were and how much they sold for. And I think pricing too high, because sometimes when I went lower, they'd sell or I gave discounts. But I know there are some things that are still priced too high, and I'm working through them all because I have 1,800 items in there. So I'm working through them all, and I'm fixing their prices and looking them up, because in the beginning I didn't. And you know, I gotta tell you, I gotta admit these things. Sometimes when I go to the thrift store, like today, I see vintage things that are on sale. I mean, that are worth buying, and I don't buy them because I don't want anything else in my house. But that's my fault, because I made it get too crowded. And I say that because you will know when you need to stop. Yeah, you'll know. Oh yeah, how can I forget this one? Sometimes you are going to get returns or an open case. It is on Poshmark. And on Poshmark, they're pretty good about helping both of you resolve the issue. So if someone opens a case, don't take it to heart. Don't, even if they're freaking lying, because some of them are. Yeah, scams, look out for those. And just do your best to explain your side of it. You didn't know, blah, 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 or they're lying, you know, whatever. Don't get scammed. And if you have gotten scammed before, leave it down below, because I'm just curious, because there are so many scammers out there. Way less than I think, I'm sure, but it feels like there are many, many. Oh, yes. And don't spend more money than you have. And keep it in one bank account. Get a bank account with a checking account, maybe a savings if you have to, but do that. Because if you start charging on all your credit cards or on Venmo, PayPal, whatever, it's going to be crazy, especially on your credit cards, because you have a percentage that you'll need to pay. So don't be crazy. That $5 top can turn into $10 by the time you pay for it. And I know, because I experienced it. So I'm only telling you my experiences. I'm not saying they're right or wrong, but I think some of you can learn from it. So I'm looking around one more time. Let's see. Do I have anything else that I need to tell you? Put your things down below that you want to share, mistakes that you've made that you just would like to share, so that you can help somebody, maybe. Because I hope this helps somebody in the future. I never saw videos like this years ago where, you know, you were telling your mistakes. It was mostly all the good sales and things like that, because that's the fun part. You want to see that. That's it. That's it. That's all that I can think of right now. No, it's not. Make sure you have a camera that takes good pictures, or your phone camera that takes good pictures, because you're going to be taking a lot of pictures. Make sure you get some kind of background remover. There are so many. And just look around, look at some other people's closets or stores that are succeeding, and see what they do. See how their pictures look. See everything from lighting to everything. And make sure, even if you pick a light place and you're not losing a light, you're getting the right color. Because there are many, many tops that I have that are red that I can't take pictures of in certain spots because they don't come out the color red. And some other colors too. So that's it for today, guys. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe. And I will see you again soon. I will put my Poshmark closet down below in case you're interested in taking a look at how I take pictures and etc. I'm not saying it is perfect or the right way, but I do sell things with these pictures, and if they don't sell after a while, I take new pictures. Okay, there's too much more. If I think of anything else, I'll do it in another video. Thank you so much for getting this far. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye. I'm adding this in if you're still watching. It's a bonus. Make sure you check all of your items at the thrift store thoroughly to see if there are any holes, rips, or marks, stains, and then decide if you really want it or not. Some things do sell, but just decide on if it's a really good brand. People will buy it anyway. It will just be cheaper, but do your studying and watch YouTube videos. They really help me pick and choose which ones you like. Things that resonate with you, that's the word. People who resonate with you, maybe what they're selling, maybe their attitudes. Just do yourself a favor and learn. This is a learning journey, so don't think it's not. It's not easy either. So, sometimes you're answering your your orders in the middle of dinner, you'll maybe slip in the bathroom, or, while you're on your way somewhere, while you're on the couch with your family. So learn how to balance. That will take a while. All right, I'm really going now. Bye-bye.